Hey, welcome. It is episode 2 of the Out of the Closet podcast. Hello, I'm your host and comedian, Andrew Pettke. I'll be with you the whole podcast. We are a fun, gay, and informative lifestyle show hosted by me, and we are broadcasting out of the closet. Now, literally, this is my husband and I's closet, and I'm broadcasting live from here right now. From laughs to interviews to games with special guests to fashion, culture, all things LGBTQ, AI plus, and gay friendly, to highlighting special organizations doing amazing things in their community, to information and opinions. This show is full of amazing information, big laughs, and over the top fun. And I'm so happy you guys have all joined. If you're listening to my voice, thank you so much. And you can always follow along on any of our social media channels, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Just go to @podcastOOTC. That's podcast OOTC. OOTC is for Out of the Closet. So if you want to take a look inside the closet, you can actually see this podcast. Yeah, that's right. This podcast is actually also a vodcast. So that means you can watch while you listen. So you can do that too. It's a lot of fun. You can see the closet. You can see what's going on. So it'll be a lot of fun. And now listen, I know that's a lot of information to swallow at the beginning of the show, but just go to outoftheclosetpodcast.com anytime, and you can find out all the places that we're at. You can find out what I look like. You can come see our guests that are going to be on the show with us. That's outoftheclosetpodcast.com. On today's show, we have an incredible guest that is going to help you get your gay ass finances in order, help you better understand investments and the risks and rewards of investing. And she'll let you in on ways to invest in off Wall Street options for planning for your future and for your retirement. CEO and founder of Dallas-based Alternative Wealth Partners, Kellyanne WINGET. Plus, we'll play a game called Invest or Detest, where we will see Kellyanne's opinions on different things that I present to her, whether she would invest in them or if she would not. All right. And then later on in the show, world-renowned shoe expert, the shoe queen, JULIANNA HAGAR, will be joining us from her own home's custom shoe closet. And she's going to teach us an amazing SHOETORIAL, which is where we're going to learn all the different types of styles, shapes of heels, shoe types, your toe types. So whether you just want to know what the drag queens are wearing, or you want to sport a pair for yourself, or you just want to be gauge-educated on all the various types of high heels, the shoe queen will host a quick SHOETORIAL and teach you all the basics. And it's going to be called What the Hill. So you're going to learn that coming up in just a second. And also, if we can, just for a second, in response to the recent and alarming escalation in xenophobia and bigotry, including incidents of hate, violence, harassment, discrimination, shunning, and child bullying against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders here in the United States, resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm going to teach you about an organization called StopAAPIHate.org. They were recently established. And anyway, there's ways that you can help put an end to anti-Asian racism. And I'll talk to you about that coming up on the show a little bit later on. And then we're going to wrap with a big gay herstory lesson. Okay. Listen, if you have your pride flags on and your glitter on standby, this week's gay history lesson is all about the very first ever Pride Parade. How did it start? Where did it start? What are you doing to celebrate Pride this year safely? We'll discuss that, and hopefully you'll learn something brand new. So stick around. We're going to have an amazing time on the podcast today. In fact, I hope you really get involved. I'd love to hear from you, your ideas for the show, anything you'd like to hear, or if you just want to shoot me an email anytime, I'd love to hear from you. Just shoot me an email at andrew@outoftheclosetpodcast.com. And then you can subscribe to our social media channels for searching for podcast OOTC. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news recently, but there has been a lot of tragic information, and I know it's probably hard to get through. Recently with the incidents that happened in Boulder, the discrimination against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and Trump is he is threatening to start his own social media channel because, you know, he's been kicked off all the other channels. So as if we don't have enough stresses on our plate, we have to worry about Trump coming in with his own social media channel. So I was actually thinking about that. I was like, what the hell would Trump call his social media channel? You know, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's TikTok, there's Instagram. So I started thinking about it. I was like, what would Donald Trump call his racist social media platform? Well, you know, it's going to be racist. I have thought of some names, though. I've thought of a couple of names that he may consider. My favorite is Hick Talk. It's where Hicks and other country people come together to talk about, Southern heritage. Another one that he'd be having would probably be called Instagloat. It would be a platform where he could post photos that shows himself in being physically fit, being mentally spry, and being a generally good person. So there's that. Oh, you know what else would be a really good one? MySpace. We all know that MySpace was a place for musicians. MySpace is a place for right-wing conservatives. So there's that. Let's hope whatever happens, let's hope Trump doesn't have any kind of other platform. We survived 4 years and COVID. So we got to be able to get through that. So anyway, hey, I just want to tell everybody out there, with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world, just keep that chin high and make sure you check in on your friends and family, especially people that might be living on their own or may not be going to work on a regular basis. You know, human interaction is so important, especially for us gays. And so, it's really important, with COVID and us having social distancing and quarantining and not working in an office space, we don't have that day-to-day social interaction. And although we may have enjoyed it at the beginning of quarantine, it does run a mental toll on a lot of people. So please, I would just say, check out and check on your friends and your family that you maybe haven't talked to in a while, and just check in on their mental health. All right, guys, we have an awesome show for you today. I am so excited. So let's get started. All right, guys, today on the show, I'm so excited to introduce to you Kellyanne WINGET. She's the founder and CEO of Plano, Texas-based Alternative Wealth Partners, LLC. And today she's going to help you get your finances in order for your gay-ass self or your gay-ass family, okay? Kellyanne is here today to help you better understand investments and risk and rewards of investing, and even ways to invest in off-Wall Street options, okay? Alternative Wealth Partners pulls back the curtain on private equity and gives investors like you true transparency into what they're investing into, the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? They are focused on building portfolios for their clients that offer wealth preservation as well as growth, and work closely with their clients to help plan a stronger financial future and a stress-free retirement. All right, for the first time ever, we welcome Kellyanne WINGET to the Out of the Closet podcast. Welcome. How are you doing?
Great. I'm great. I'm in my closet. My shoes are back here.
Yeah, for you guys that are listening to the podcast right now, you can actually log on to outoftheclosetpodcast.com if you want to see the vodcast. That's right, the video of this. And you can see, first of all, Kellyanne is gorgeous. She has stunning blue eyes like the ocean. And she's in her closet right now. And it looks like you have a little shoe organizer behind you. Yeah. Okay, nice. And those all look like pretty sensible shoes, which is really nice. I, however, dressed for this wealth management segment in the most understated outfit I could. I'm in a lace button down, a faux fur jacket, and some gold chains. Some of my husband's bling,
Yes.
Probably not what you'd recommend.
Depends on the jewels, I guess.
That's true. Well, hey, I want to get started real quick. I know we want to talk about Alternative Wealth Partners and your business. I know you're the founder and CEO of that. But before we get started with all of that, I want to have the listeners kind of get to know you a little bit more. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing, about your coming out experience and all that fun stuff.
I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I went to Plano schools. I went to college 2 different places to try to figure out what I wanted to do, and that was run a business. I was in sales and services from the time I was 14 and realized I was really good at it. So I just kind of focused on that. I feel like my coming out story is kind of boring because I had the opportunity to be authentically myself from the very beginning. I had very supportive parents. I was, exposed to a lot of different types of people. And my father came out late in life, so I got to experience that with him after
Wow.
my own coming out. So that was something we shared. He passed away in 2014, but it was something that really connected us. Even though we were very close growing up, it kept us close in my teenage and in my early 20s. So
Wow. Okay. So, and there's probably some part of him that felt comfort to come out because of you.
I think so. He really embraced that in my early teens. So 17, 18, we were able to, explore the gay community. He opened me up to different experiences. So when I was on my own as an adult, the gay world wasn't so scary. And
That's amazing.
yeah, I'm very lucky in that sense because I've been able to help friends come out in their 20s who, back in high school or even middle school didn't have the confidence to do that. It's a lot easier.
So you were out and you were out
yeah.
and proud in high school then?
Yes,
Okay,
I was.
and that was in Texas too?
Yep.
Wow. Well, that's pretty amazing.
Plano was, and maybe I was living in a rose-colored world, but I felt like the high school, and I went to Plano Senior High. I felt like the high school was really supportive of that. We had a GSA, and this is back in, the early 2000s or 2010s. I guess 2008 is when I graduated. But we had a GSA, that I was a member of, and I was also a member of the Young Republicans. So, I was toying with some difficult things within myself during that time. But
we all were. I mean, I worked for a conservative radio station for a small stint too, so I'm right there with you. It's part of the Texas upbringing.
Oh yeah.
and some of the self-realization along the way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
After high school, your transition was to college.
I went to two different colleges. I went to TWU and I went to North Central Texas College, and took several business classes, and realized that my passion was owning businesses and kind of figuring it out on my own. There was nothing that a book could teach me that real life couldn't teach better. So,
right.
I positioned myself to be in rooms with really smart people and really successful people, and learned a lot by sitting next to them and watching them do what they do. I got really good at it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm just going to ask you, so are you an only child or do you have siblings?
I am the middle child. So I got to fly under the radar with everything because they were either, focused on my brother or focused on my little sister. So, they are both equally successful in their fields. My brother went into computer engineering and he's a developer, and my sister's in construction. She's a project manager for a large commercial construction company, and she went to school for civil engineering. She's also a business owner. So
entrepreneurship runs in the family then?
Oh yeah, my parents owned 2 or 3 businesses before they decided to have kids in their mid-30s. So they had a successful life before kids.
Well, that's amazing. I never knew that about your dad. I think that's pretty incredible, and what an amazing story that you guys have together. And it's pretty awesome. I think anytime I hear somebody coming up, especially in Texas, in a household that really supports their children all the way through, I think that's incredible. And obviously you're a shining example of what the product can be of a loving household like that. So that's amazing. Well, I know we're going to get into it in just a second. We're going to go into a little bit of your business, but right now, are you single? Are you married?
I am dating someone, and we are very serious. We're actually building a house together. If you know anything about lesbians, you know that we meet and then we U-Haul, and usually we buy property and then several dogs and a cat, and then we get married. So.
Hey, I didn't want to push that stereotype, but if you're doing it, okay, all right, that sounds good. Yeah. Well, we'll be back in just 1 minute, and when we come back, we're going to discuss how you started Alternative Wealth Partners, how you got into that, your history into that career path, and all that. Coming up next, we're going to take a 1 minute break, and then we'll be right back with Kelly Ann WINGET of Alternative Wealth Partners.
Hi, I'm Ty Burgess, founder and CEO of OneCBD, and I'm here to talk to you about bringing some balance back into your life, because everyone knows we can all use a little balance right now, and we have a special offer for Out of the Closet listeners today. To learn more, visit us at onecbd.com. That's ONECBD.com, and use discount code OUT for 50% off your first order. I'm so confident that you'll love adding OneCBD to your routine that if you aren't completely satisfied, we'll refund your entire order. No questions asked. OneCBD.com. Take our free quiz to see which product is right for you. That's ONECBD.com.
It's Mystica Masala, owner of the most famous drag queen food truck and the winner of the Great Food Truck Race on Food Network. Now you can get my extremely tasty Mystica Masala spices and spice blends. The same spices we used in my award-winning dishes, featured on Food Network, even my famous tikka masala blend and my savory and spicy tandoori blend. Plus, my free recipes on the back of every package. Just log on to dragfoodtruck.com. That's dragfoodtruck.com. Enter OOTC at checkout for 15% off.